We got to do this.
Dude.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we say, for instance, Donald Trump has 0% support in the African American community, that is obviously doesn't mean that there isn't a African American or an African American who is in support of him. When we say that, largely speaking, the Latino Hispanic community does not support Donald Trump. In fact, polls show that he's getting still 20 some odd percent, 25%, maybe. Usually that's because they are extremely religious, fundamentalist, and they can't abide by the idea of a woman having a right to choose or other issues. But there is a quality about Donald Trump where if you are an open advocate for him, and I'm just thinking off the top of my head of guys like Ernie Bach Jr. and you're either getting paid a significant amount of money, or there's something, you got a weird perspective on the world. Here is a guy, Latinos for Trump founder Marco Gutierrez, who has an interesting perspective on his culture. And I mean, he thinks it's so dominating that it's dangerous to the American culture. And the way he articulates his danger is unique. Here it is.
Here.
What problems? What problems are you talking about?
My culture is a very dominant culture. And it's imposing and it's causing problems. If you don't do something about it, you're going to have taco trucks every corner.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on a second. I have to let Adriano in here.
I don't know.
I don't even know what that means, and I'm...
That's right. Joy Reid goes on to say, I don't know what that means. And the other guy says, yeah, I don't know what that means either.
I think it's pretty clear, man. Mean taco trucks everywhere. And then when the taco trucks come in, then it's like they call her the dog. He called it the majority Tom Hartman.
I understand. I mean, I don't understand what I understand what this guy's saying. You don't understand. Soon you guys are going to be every birthday party is going to be about a piñata, and you're going to have taco trucks on the corners, and you're going to people aren't going to be drinking as much bourbon. It'll be more like tequila or mezcal. I mean, I don't understand what it is. I don't know if they said in interviewing this guy before, they made him a surrogate. They were like, how would you scare white people?
I would highlight our desirable and cheap and accessible food that everyone seems to love. One thing is people hate us because they exploit our labor, and we make great food. So obviously people fucking hate us.
It's a taco truck blitzkrieg.
Do you think the only other thing I could think of would be if he's saying that you won't get the broad spectrum of Mexican food that you think you will. It's just going to be a lot narrower because full-on authentic Mexican cuisine is not as broad as we think it is.
Only
in this country.
chicken burritos,
fajitas,
man. You think it's something bigger.
That is strictly for the gringos. We don't do fajitas. We don't do the hard shell tacos. And we don't do the tacos with the flour tortillas that you guys like so much. You won't like it.
God, I would love a taco truck on literally every corner. That actually sounds amazing.
It would be.
How good would
Awesome.
Really, all kidding aside, how great would that be? And I know, I feel like relative to most of the country, we do have a fair amount of taco trucks. But if they were on literally every corner, my life would be significantly improved.
But it's also weird, too, because if you did have a taco truck on every corner, right, presumably this guy's suggesting staffed by Mexicans, it really wouldn't affect the broader restaurant community because all it would mean is it would drive down the prices of tacos and burritos. And now, That's problematic insofar as the people who are working there, it's a race to the bottom because you're going to get nothing for working at a taco truck because you got to make your tacos. Because, you have the competition of needing to have the best ingredients, but you're going to try and shave off the labor. I mean, but if you're like a Chinese restaurant or somewhere else, I mean, you're fine. Because then also it's going to be hard to have a sit-down, a Mexican restaurant. Maybe that's his point. You're going to have less sit-down, nice, high-end Mexican restaurants.
Believe me, I think if anybody could figure that out, that probably would be the Chinese. Okay, they're killing us. They're amazing at this.
Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.